Hello and welcome to the channel. This is my history with gaming chapter 4, I think. Um, this one is going to be kind of two separate consoles that kind of are related to each other. Um, I don't have much of a history with this, so this is more of a current thing, but I'll start off with this one. So this is my DS Lite, which, as I'm sure most of you already know, can play Game Boy Advance games. So this one, that's why I say this one's a little weird. Um, but it'll play advanced games and DS games. Now, I never had this when it first came out. Same with the 3DS, which I also have here. Um, I did have a friend who brought one of these over at one point and kind of messed around with it a bit, but I wasn't overly enthused about it myself. Um, and I think I did have the Game Boy Pocket at that point in time, but I wasn't that big into gaming. I did have my NES, my cousin's SNES, and the Sega Genesis for a long time, and I just rarely played them. Sometimes I maybe hook one up and play something, but yeah, I wasn't big into hobby stuff very much. But I got this, I think, in either 2018 or 2019 for about 60 bucks Canadian or something like that. Like, this was really cheap. The first one I bought actually was busted. It was the rose gold color. Um, and it had so many issues with it when I bought it. And then I went back to the store that I sometimes go to. Um, they rent movies still. Like, it's a similar store to Blockbuster, but they also sell retro games and a whole bunch of stuff in my area. Um, but I went and exchanged it, and this one actually works pretty good. Don't know if it has any power. Oh wow! Well, I'll be damned. It does. Sweet. Um, I don't have very many DS games. I'll get into all my games afterwards. So I did manage to pick up this Bakugan case off of eBay for it for pretty cheap. I think it was like either $5 or $10 or something like that. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Now the real meat and potatoes are right here. I'll first get into this one. So this is my new 3DS XL. It's very similar looking to a DS, as you can see. Much bigger screen, and also the 3D effects on the 3DS XL, the new 3DS XL, is a lot better than, say, the original 3DS, which I also never had. I do have a game in here. I got Pokemon Rumble Blast in here. I'll take that out. I actually really like the 3D effects on this. Now this one didn't come with a stylus. I had to actually order some online. I don't know where the rest of them are. I think it came with like 3 or 4 of them, unless they're in here. Oh, I think they're actually in here. Okay. And this case also came with a stylus pen. But yeah, lately I haven't been playing it very much, but I think I got this also just before COVID hit. I actually got this before the DS Lite, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. But let's power this bad boy up. I don't know. The 3D effect is actually pretty awesome on this. I do like that it actually has eye tracking built into it. I just have a bunch of demos on here. I don't know if you can really see that. I never bought any digital games, and I'm actually kind of glad I didn't. Because they did shut down. They did shut down the eShop on the 3DS, if I'm not mistaken. But it is kind of a regret that I never got one sooner. But I am glad that I do have one now, so I'm sure at some point in the near future I might do some gameplay off of these. Probably not this one. But I'll get into the games that are in this case. So here I've got Pokemon Ultra Sun, Fire Emblem Warriors, and I have a multi-cart 501, which has a whole bunch of DS games on it. And it will work on the DS Lite. I got Pokemon Rumble Blast, which I did have in there. And then I got Detective Pikachu. And then here I've got Ultra Moon. And then another 3DS multi-cart, 208 in 1. Now this one I think actually has all the DS Pokemon games on it. And then Mario World 3D Lands. And Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. So those are the ones that I have in here. And this is my main 3DS. And then in here, which I have shown in another video that I did, is my 2DS XL. Now the purpose of me getting this one was I actually wanted to mod this one. I wanted to install homebrew stuff and do a whole bunch of things, but what I might end up doing is maybe in a few months I might end up just buying another one that's already modded. I did have to pull out my micro SD card that was in here for one of my Switches, because I only had a 64 gig in one of my Switches, and I put in the 128 gig that was here, and I reformatted it, and yeah, it'll just be easier if I just buy one that's already got the homebrew stuff on it. Yeah, this is probably the console I would use, and I'd probably zoom in a lot more and have it more like that with the actual gameplay going. Because I don't know. One thing I would like to do, let's see if I can turn this on. There we go. Is I would like to emulate, and also if I could emulate new 3DS games even, and maybe stream them or record the gameplay. Yeah, I forget what format the micro SD has to be in, but just curious here. This one's already connected to the internet, so. Okay, it won't let me go to the eShop because of the micro SD card. Okay. Yeah, they're discontinuing all the stuff on the 3DS eShop, which kind of sucks. And so that also means that eventually one day they'll do that for the Switch, which I'm not looking forward to. Well, I'll do that in the Switch video. I'll discuss that, but yeah, when I did play these consoles, I did actually quite enjoy them. They're not too bad. Then this is a multi-cart case. I think it holds about 60 games or something like that. Oh, I also have DS games in here. Okay, so I got Yokai Watch here, Pokemon X, Animal Crossing, New Leaf, I believe, yes. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Gates to Infinity. I got Bravely Default. And then on this side, I've got more DS games. I got Spore Creatures, Juice 2, I got Bakugan, I can't read the fine print there. Go-Go's Crazy Bones, which I've unboxed on this channel. Quantum of Solace, Secret Saturdays, Base of the Fifth Sun, Lego The Complete Saga, Star Wars Lego The Complete Saga, GTA Chinatown Wars, Feel the Magic, My Sims, and Splinter Cell, and Brother in Arms DS. So that's in this case. This one I just have a few games in. I'm gonna move them over to that case actually. Tomodachi Life and Rabbids Rumble. Those are the only two that I have in this one, which I am actually going to right now move to the other case. Now these cases that I have for the cartridges are actually have the proper sizing for these to actually fit into. I didn't realize this case had both 3DS and DS games in it when I grabbed it, so yeah. So this will hold 64 cartridges. Okay. So I got two of those. I think that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Yeah, I never got these when they originally launched. I've only had them for maybe 2 to 4 years. Maybe I got them a year or two before COVID hit in 2020. I might even got these in 2021. But yeah, these are not that old to me really. Sometimes I might occasionally just buy a game for these systems, kind of play them for a bit. And one thing that I do find beneficial is that it just like with Game Boy games, it saves on the cartridge. So you don't necessarily have to have a micro SD card in the system in order to actually like play games. Unlike say the PSP and the PS Vita, which requires a memory card in order for games to be saved. But yeah, it saves it directly to the cartridge. They did change that for the Switch. So you do need to have internal storage, either the system itself or a micro SD card. But either way works. So a lot of these games I got used and they're pretty much already beaten. So like some of these Pokemon games, I think it was Ultra Sun I bought used, and I bought Ultra Moon brand new. So I can even swap stuff between my two systems, between the two cartridges and stuff like that, which is kind of awesome through wireless transfers and stuff like that, which is a benefit over, say, the Game Boy, which required a link cable. Didn't matter which Game Boy you had, the original or the Advance, all the way up to the Advance SP and stuff like that, and even the Micro. I don't think the Micro actually had a port for the link cable, but like both Advances do. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, the original Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Light, etc. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video, and have a good one.